Hey everybody, this is Personal Financial Literacy with Mr. Castaldo. Today is May 4th, 2020. I just wanted to kind of go over some things with you guys as the course, we get into May and we get into June. I got to be honest, I would love to see you guys again. I hope we're back at school. I know Governor Murphy hasn't canceled it yet through the year, but I think it's just inevitable. Governor Cuomo just canceled New York through the year. Tom Wolf canceled Pennsylvania schools earlier, and I think it's just going to happen for us. So what will transpire during the rest of the school year, as far as I'm concerned, on Sunday nights, Tuesday nights, and Thursday nights, you'll be getting a new assignment. Those assignments will be due within 48 hours. Okay, so the assignment you get Sunday is due Tuesday. The assignment you get Tuesday night is due Thursday night, and the assignment you get Thursday will be due Saturday. These deadlines are all soft. Okay, so I realize with what's going on, there are a lot of things happening as far as technology, as far as your lives, your health is concerned, your family's health is concerned. So I'm giving you guys some time to do each assignment. The deadlines are all soft. The big thing is as long as I'm getting the work back by the end of the marking period, like June 15th, we're saying I can be very flexible. That's your whole thing. I believe that, to be empathetic with you guys with what's going on, that I think that's the best thing for everybody. As far as videos are concerned, what's going to happen, I believe you guys have me for a video on Tuesdays and Thursdays on Google Meet. I have a link there. All you have to do is click on it, and I'll be there at the allotted time. Those times are not required for you to be in my class. You don't have to come and talk to me. If you want to talk about something, that's fine. But I'll be there for a little bit. If people show up, I'll talk. If people aren't there for the first few minutes, I'll go back and grade. If you guys want to talk to me one on one, again, I have no problem with setting up a different time for you guys to do that. Um, but again, it's not necessary to be in these videos to talk to me. I'll be talking to you guys on YouTube videos. I think Monday, Wednesday, and Friday I'll be putting a video up, and just to kind of talk about some things where you guys are with assignments. Maybe I'll give you some feedback, talk about what's upcoming, and then we'll kind of go from there. This class, like I said, it's a little different. I teach career exploration. I teach computer applications. Those courses are more independent study. Personal finance is more of like a regular course. So like for me, this is a little bit easier to talk to you guys on finance, the career and the computer applications. They're a little bit difficult as far as giving like information or like lectures are concerned, because a lot of the work is independently guided. So without further ado, I do want to get into the unit with chapter 10. We're on unit 3 at this point. My goal is to finish this maybe in a couple weeks. It'll be pretty quick. We'll do another couple of units before another unit before Memorial Day, and we'll wrap everything up in June. So as far as this is concerned, there was a question to do now that I wanted to bring up from the Unit 2 exam. I received most of them. If I didn't get your Unit 2 exam, I need to get it as soon as humanly possible. It's absolutely absurd that that's taking this long without getting feedback from you guys. If you have an issue, send me an email. You have my phone. I can be receptive, but I can't do anything unless I hear something. So as far as the situation is concerned, the question I asked for the do now says Dina does all her grocery shopping at organic markets, has a monthly grocery bill of 325. Charles says it's wasted money because he buys it bulk. He goes to a Save a Lot store. He pays 195. And the question is who's budgeting correctly for food. And the question that the actually answer should be both, because everybody's wants and needs are different in life. And as far as you making decisions financially for yourself, for your person, that's going to vary tremendously on who you are. So, for me and my family, I'm kind of more with Dina. I like to spend more at the organic market. I'm disappointed that Whole Foods is harder to get to right now. But again, I have no problem paying extra money for good quality food. Um, so that it can vary depending on who you might be talking to. That's one of the realities as you go through life. So, like, I'll give you one flat out. As you guys know, I work extensively in the virtual education sector along with teaching public school. So one of the realities with my job is I invest a decent amount of my money into my laptop. I have an extra couple of laptops that are pretty high end. I spend more money on my internet package because I need to have reliable internet to do my job. And so without it, it's hard for me to work. It's hard for me to make a living. So some people may say, well, I don't really need fast internet. It's not really a need for me. For me, it is. So it depends on what kind of line of work you're in, where that will vary. So let's go on to the chapter. I did want to talk to you guys. So the question is for chapter 10, it's saving for the future. There's two parts to it. We'll talk about 10.1 today. I'll talk about 10.2 a little bit on Wednesday morning. As far as this chapter is concerned, I think there's a lot of things going on today with the economy that I think really can make you think as far as what our decisions are going to be as far as financially, financials, how to spend money, how to save money. It's definitely changed my level of thinking a bit as far as spending money. In some capacities, I've actually saved money by being in the social isolation period because, I mean, I have a truck, as you guys know. Um, it requires a lot of gas. I bought my truck brand new last July. I'm still only at 8,000 miles. So I'm not putting a lot of money into my truck. I'm not filling up my tank. I'm mostly staying home, but I'm saving money there. But unfortunately, I'll be honest, I'm not sure if your parents are like this too, but I've been clicking on Amazon a little too much. So just odds and ends. Maybe I'm getting bored. You see something, you buy it that I normally wouldn't have. However, like on the flip side, I'm not getting my bagel from Briarwood Deli. I miss those guys. On my way to work, I'm not getting my coffee, my bagel from those guys. So their money's being spent differently based on what's going on. My cruise trip just got canceled officially on Saturday, and so I was upset about it because I was dying to go to Venice and seeing the sights. Um, but it is what it is. But as far as money is concerned, I don't have to spend more money on my kennel for the summer for my dog. I don't have to spend money in other ways that I wouldn't have. So it's a catch-22 as far as investing, saving. We'll talk about this a little bit in this chapter, and it'll get into decent length. So the goals for 10.1, we're going to describe the different purposes of savings, how money grows through compounding, and we're going to talk about different financial institutions as to where you can save. Okay. Um, Big thing to save. I think today more than ever. I hope you guys have seen. I'm seeing some of these businesses, big businesses, small businesses. A lot of them are dying because there wasn't cash reserves set up for rainy day money. That's really important for you guys to have some money set aside because in the event that something bad will happen, as far as a job loss or a market crash, it's good to have some pennies over to the side just to keep you going for the time being. A lot of times in a bad economy, a business can start. So Founders Education, Edusphere, it's a company I've worked for many years in the virtual education sector. We blew up in 2009. And so that was right at the recession, right when the economy was doing pretty poorly, 2009. Um, my boss, he launched the company, he started the company in 2006, 7, right when the market was starting to collapse. In 2009, we did really well, and there's been no looking back. One of the reasons why we've done well, there was a demand for different things in education, and things kind of set up. My boss was really effective at saving money when times were good, knowing that when things got bad, things could change. And so it's really important to keep some money nestled aside. We'll talk about where do you save and how do you save it, because that can vary. Um, so let's go through it. There's a lot of unexpected that goes on. So as far as your short-term needs, a lot of times it happens. The big thing is, their short-term needs are their expenses beyond your regular monthly items. They can happen all the time. I mean, so let's put it this way. I know some of you guys, it's spring right now. Maybe your parents are doing some yard work. Maybe they opened up the pool yesterday. It was nice out. It's gonna be cold this weekend, unfortunately. Open up the pool, bam. There's the pumps. The pump's not working. You have to get that fixed. So what I'm saying is like these emergency events, these repairs, they do happen. A vacation. Maybe your parents want to go on a trip. Your mom's been begging your dad to go on a trip for vacation for so long. Dad finally caves in, decides to go on a vacation. Bam, you gotta spend some money. Social events. So maybe there's a concert. Hopefully soon. I don't know. I think a lot of us, as soon as me, I'm so missing the Yankees right now. It's not even funny. It's depressing to not see the Yankees. A social event, something happens. Bam, you need some money. You want to go see a game right away. Um, a major purchase. Sometimes they happen. Sometimes you get hit with something unexpectedly. So these are short-term needs. That's why it's really important to have some money nestled aside in the event that something takes place. You have long-term needs. The big thing is a home. You want to buy a house. I've always been a saver in my personality. So just to give you guys an idea, I bought my house at 31 years old. My property that I live in now. When I bought my house, I had money for my communion when I was 7 years old. That was still in the bank when I made my down payment for my property. So that's a goal. If you want a house, you want to buy a property. Having some money nestled aside is a big deal. It may take you a while. One thing that may happen, unfortunately, you may start seeing a lot of foreclosures in the next year, 2 years. This could be an opportunity for younger millennials to start buying some properties. So one of the issues that takes place in this part of the country, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Eastern Pennsylvania, Southern New York, a lot of people who are, you know, millennials, if you will, they some of them haven't bought a house yet. They're in their early 30s. The market may start to collapse. That may allow for some properties to be cheaper. So we'll see what takes place. Education. If you guys are going to go to a four-year college, I'm sure your parents have been saving money a little bit since you were young to go to a four-year college. Even Mercer County Community College. I mean, you got to save money for it. It's not free to go to Mercer. Um, but again, that's something you have to set up money aside for. Retirement income. So me, for instance, I have more savings in my retirement than I do in my actual savings account. And one of the reasons why I do that with retirement, again, this is on slide 6 for you guys, is because the money can grow faster than if I just decided, okay, you know what? If I stuck the money in the savings account, it'll grow really small with interest. So I have a lot more money in my 401 than I do my savings. And the reason why I do that is because, like I said, the money is going to grow over time, and it's going to make me more money down the road. So it's one of those things. Where do you want to put your money? That's something there that has to transpire. Okay. Um, I'm going to go to financial security on slide 7. That's an important one to talk about. It's a peace of mind that comes from knowing that when needs arise, you'll have adequate money to pay for them. So let me put it this way in perspective. There, like let's say, my all of a sudden my roof goes out, and I need to get that fixed. Okay, I need money right there to do it. No problem. I have the money. It's going to be annoying, but not an issue. Um, right before all this happened with the social isolation, with the pandemic, um, my wife caught a leak coming out of one of the pipes in our family room. And we were furious because my house is 3 years old. It's a brand new home. But unfortunately, the one thing I warned you guys on new construction, it's not built to the level of care as houses 30 or 40 years ago were. Um, so those of you that are living, let's say in Hamilton, where I grew up, let's say you're over by Hamilton Square, you may be in a house built in the 60s, and those pipes are still good. The electric still is fine. My parents have a house; it's the original oven, the original appliances they have. Believe it or not, the oven is still good. It still runs perfectly fine from the 60s. But when my pipe bust, it was having a leak. I had to get a plumber in here. It cost me a few $100. Was it annoying? Yes. But the $300 that I had allocated for that, it wasn't really an issue. So it's really important to have that kind of financial security where you're not sweating if like you need to repair. Something has to get done. So it's one of those things that's what financial security is supposed to be there for. A lot of how you save money, a lot of it is, your willpower and you anticipate your needs and wants. Um, I'm very good at this. That's something I have an ability with. I'm good at kind of anticipating like what might I need. If you think that the worst might happen as far as financial, predictions, um, that could help you down the road. There are things that you can't predict, like this. This pandemic, I couldn't have predicted this a year ago, 6 months ago, 2 months ago. I mentioned before, I was in Amsterdam in January, having fun, walking around the streets. Nobody was thinking about it in the Netherlands. A couple months later, bam, the whole planet shut down. So what I'm getting at is sometimes it's hard to plan for negative, but it's important to be frugal and having some balance between certain funding. What I'm not telling you to do is to be so cheap to the point where it's embarrassing. So, like, listen, if I ever, let's say I see you guys and we're at KC Prime and we're getting some good steaks. I'm really, I'm dying for a steak right now. I don't know about you guys, but a good steak from filet mignon from a good filet from KC Prime would hit the spot right now. I'll just be totally honest with you. Let's say we're at KC Prime, right? And we're gonna order some food. I don't want you ordering the cheapest thing in the menu to save money. There's times where it's okay to splurge. It's okay to take care of yourself as far as something monetarily. Am I saying to go to KC Prime and get a filet mignon every day? No, your colon's not going to like it, and you're probably going to have to get a lot of issues down the road. But like once in a while, yeah, that's fine. That's okay. If you want to splurge a little bit on yourself, that's totally fine. Every day, no, not necessary. So it's important to kind of set that willpower because sometimes people get into a trap and they start buying things that they don't need, and it's hard to kind of break that mental cycle. So it can be like just like with anything. I'm going to go down past 8 and 9 because we did already talk a little bit about income and compounding interest annually. Um, as far as where to save on slide 11, I wanted us to talk about these. You have commercial banks, you have savings banks, you have savings and loan associations, you have credit unions, you have brokerage firms, you have online accounts. So just keep this in mind. A commercial bank, um, like TD Bank, can function as both a commercial and a savings bank. So if you wanted to invest money to start a business, you can use them for that. If you're talking about a brokerage firm, that kind of goes back to it can be a commercial bank. So like I use Charles Schwab, for instance, for some of my funds. Um, they do serve as both. So if you do want to deposit money, I can save money in that capacity. So that's just an example of where you can do it. So as far as today's concerned, guys, um, I'll put this video up. We'll talk. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach me tomorrow during our allotted time. But again, most of you guys are doing well. If you're missing any assignments, go back and do it. All I'm looking for you guys to do for this assignment is just to do the do now, which I gave you the answer for. And I just want the vocab terms. So it's a quick, easy, independent study. I'll probably give you guys a worksheet on this on Wednesday, and you'll get some kind of like a summative assessment later on. Okay. All right. Be safe, guys. Make sure you're washing your hands. Hope you're well.